What's up, everybody? This is Talkin All That Kazz, and I am DJ Kazzeo. I want to thank you for checking out this particular episode of Talkin All That Kazz. On this particular episode, I got another great interview that I conducted here on my radio show at 90.9 FM KHTC in Salinas, California. But before we get going with that, I want you to go to this address, djkazzeo.com, and connect with me on social media. Whether it's on my Facebook, on my Instagram, on my Twitter, or even if you go and subscribe to my Mixcloud channel, you can hear all my radio shows that I do in their entirety, music, commentary, and interviews. But this right here, Talkin All That Kazz, this is for just the interviews, okay? I want to thank everybody who checked out the first round of interviews that I put up. Now we're on to the second round. This particular round, I'm going to focus on 2019, but I'm going to sprinkle it in with some more current stuff too. So you never know what you're going to get. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy another edition of Talkin All That Kazz with me, DJ Kazzeo.
That's right, back in the building right here, 90.9 FM KHTC Radio Bilingue, Wednesday Rec coming to you live and direct. Yours truly, Kazzeo. And as I told you, got a special guest joining me on the line right now. He goes by the name of John Robinson. What's up, brother?
Yo, Kazzeo, what's up, man? How you doing out there?
I'm well, man. I'm well. How are you tonight?
Yo, feeling good. Feeling good.
Feeling good. Well, better than feeling bad, right?
Absolutely.
So, yo, man, I've been seeing your name for a couple years now. What's the story behind you, man? Where you coming out of, and tell me everything I need to know.
Yeah, man, I'm the new kid that's been around, meaning coming out of New York City, the East Coast tri-state area, but also, you know, just been around, lived in Jersey, lived in Atlanta, lived in Los Angeles for some time, and been doing music since the 90s. Salute to Science of Life, that's my original crew from the 90s here in New York, working with Stretch Armstrong and Bobbito, as well as Lyricist Lounge, you know, and many other scenarios that would define really in the New York 90s underground scene. And John Robinson really came later, you know. I feel like I tell people I'm on like my fourth or fifth hip-hop life.
Right. So the pedigree is definitely there. I mean, you're naming off some heavy hitters right there when you talk about Stretch and Bobbito. So, you know,
absolutely.
When you're you know, associating, working with cats like that, what sort of advice did they give you back then that you still implement today?
Yeah, man. Well, originally, Bobbito's label, Fondulum Records, released our first two vinyls ever.
Right.
And just seeing a lot of the design of how the independent business ecosystem was run. Like Bobbito did his thing where it was, you know, all white label vinyls, no real promotion, and just word of mouth vibes. So to learn from that angle before social media, before the internet was really moving like it is now, and then now being a part of what's happening now, I think one of the biggest things you learn is, you know, you can't not know how your ecosystems run. You can't not know how things go, because if you don't, the moment that those people who do know are not there anymore, things stop running. And you really don't want that to happen. So you want to really control the narrative and really, truly be independent.
Right. You know, I always wondered, because I see some artists, you know, obviously a lot of artists independent-wise, they're, you know, they got their hands in, you know, every aspect of what they're doing. And, you know, social media is such a huge platform for independent artists, you know, but I see some artists, they only concentrate on like one platform, where they'll be like, well, I'm just going to go to Instagram, or I'm just going to go to Twitter, or I'm just going to go to Facebook. How important is it as an independent artist to stay on top of every platform?
You know what? I think it depends on the artist. Like, what I realize is, for instance, I got to shout out and say rest in power to the great supervillain Doom, right?
Yep.
I've been blessed to work with Doom a lot, but Doom was the type of artist who, he didn't care if he was on any platform. And, you know, it was still what it was. People would find what's going on with Doom. And when he did land on these platforms, it was either, you know, team in-house or other entities he was working with putting him there. So I think it really depends on the artists themselves, because sometimes the artists who reject social media or using it wind up making it a bigger thing than it normally would be for them because of the mystique and mysterious vibes behind it. But there are other artists like myself. I feel I like to diversify it just because, I'm constantly thinking about new ways of connecting with people, engaging the people that support what I do. But again, I think it really depends on the individual artists or groups themselves and how they feel about it.
Right. With regards to MF Doom, I think maybe the reason he was kind of, and I can't say because I didn't know the guy personally, but maybe the reason he was kind of like, whatever as far as social media went was because he had already really solidified his core audience before social media became so relevant.
Maybe. Yeah, that could be real. I mean, if I had to guess, I would say it's more supervillain style. I don't care.
Right, right.
I don't care. It's the villain. I do what I do. I put it out there. And then, I do know this, just from working with Doom for so many years, that the mask itself represented really don't worry about what I look like, don't worry about image. Listen to the rec, listen to the music. It's
right.
Really about the music. But then, right, that winds up twisting around and becoming bigger than an image in some ways too. So it's really amazing how, as artists, sometimes you'll have one goal or one thing you're doing to get an outcome, and it winds up being a totally different thing, and not always in a bad way.
Well, I think that's because as a society, we always have to analyze everything that happens. You can't just let something happen and just enjoy it. Everything, there has to be a reason for everything.
Yeah, that's real. That's so real.
It's like, okay, he's wearing a mask. What is he hiding? Does he have like a hideous scar on his face? Why is he hiding his face? It's like, no, I don't want my face to be, what you think of when you think of the music.
Exactly.
So you got the new record out now. It's kind of a double A side, Malcolm and Martin and then on the other side the record with Blue and L.O. Kush, the Heavy Ghetto. What are we looking at here? What's the immediate future hold for John Robinson?
Yeah, well, outside of those two songs, there's actually a project called King JR, all produced by Blue, and I think that's something you could definitely look forward to right now. But outside of that, there's always something going on. I'm always working. I'm always thinking of ways to enterprise off of how I started from the beginning and what are the things that I could still do now that connect with the audience. But I feel if you're listening right now and you're totally unaware of what I do, I would go to johnrobinsonmusic.com and tap in. I'm sure if you're tuned in and you're vibing off those two songs, there's a lot more in the catalog. I have collectively over 20 albums and just countless collaborations. And, if you're tuned into a show like this, I'm sure I've worked with some of your favorites as well.
No doubt, man. That's a lot of that's a big discography right there. So
yeah, man. Thank you.
And I'm sure all your social media contacts are at johnrobinsonmusic.com, right?
Yes, and that's really one of the main social media contacts. John Robinson Music. On Twitter, it's Who Is JR. But I like to tell people the website because you can find pretty much everything that's going on right there.
Well, that's what's up right there, man. That's what's up. I really appreciate you taking a couple minutes to fill the audience in on, what you got going on, what you got coming up. Definitely hope to, in the future, have you back on when the next project's ready to roll. And, we could get a little bit more deeper into some stuff.
No doubt, man. Always appreciate the love. The California love has been real, always. Anytime I'm visiting or tapping in. So, salute to you. And salute to all you out there listening and tuned in right now.
No doubt, man. And above all else, salute to Sharif.
Oh, yeah. Big up Sharif. That's it. Definitely. No doubt.
Hey, man. So we're going to jump into the record with Blue and L.O. Kush. This one's called Heavy Ghetto. And John Robinson, man, I appreciate you taking the time, and we'll talk soon, all right?
Yeah, man. Take care. Peace.
All right, man. Peace.